Welcome my dear students. So in this session we are going to see about the propagation of errors. So what is meant by propagation of errors? So while doing experiment, you will be taking number of values. So that values are called as measured values, and that measured values may have some errors. So using that measured value, if you find the final result, then the final result will also be having that errors. Okay, so that is called the propagation of errors. So the errors in the measured values, how it propagates and affects the final result. Okay, so first we are going to see about errors in sum of quantities, sum of two quantities. Errors in the sum of two quantities. So when you add two quantities, and if that two quantities have some errors, okay, how it affects the final result, that's what we are going to see. So let A and B be two quantities. A and B are two quantities. Now I am finding the measured value of A. Measured value of A. So this measured value of A, I am writing it as A plus or minus delta A. Here the measured value of A is equal to A plus or minus delta A. This A is called as the true value, and this delta A is called as the error, absolute error. So we have already learned what is absolute error. So absolute error is the difference between the true value and the measured value. So how I am writing this? For example, if I am considering a wire, and if I am going to find the length of this wire, actually the true length of the wire is 10 centimeter. Okay, so if I am asking a student measure the length of this wire, and the student is saying that the length of the wire is 10 plus or minus 0.2 centimeter. So what does it mean? The student is saying that it may be plus 0.2 centimeter, 10 plus 0.2 centimeter, or it may be 10 minus 0.2 centimeter. That is, a 0.2 centimeter may be more or less. Okay, so this 0.2 here is the error. So I am writing it as in the same form. Here I have written it as the measured value of A is equal to the true value plus some error or minus some error. So this plus or minus delta A, here it is 0.2 centimeter. Okay, so I can write the measured value of A, that is the measured value of A means here the length of this wire is the measured value, that is equal to A plus or minus delta A. That is, A means the true value is 10 centimeter. It may be plus 0.2 centimeter or it may be minus 0.2 centimeter. Okay, similarly the measured value of B, I am taking another wire and I am measuring the length. Okay, so I am getting it as B plus or minus delta B. Okay, now I am going to add the length of the two wires. So the sum Z is equal to A plus B. How can I write the sum? Sum Z is equal to A plus B. Here this A is also having some error, B is also having some error. So when I add this A and B, this Z will also be having some error. So I can write this Z as Z plus or minus delta Z is equal to, what is A? A is equal to A plus or minus delta A plus, what is B? B plus or minus delta B. So which is equal to, so remove the brackets, so we'll get A plus or minus delta A plus B plus or minus delta B. Okay, so this can be written as, we can rearrange and write A plus B. Okay, this A and this B, A plus B plus or minus delta A plus or minus delta B. Okay, so here what is this A plus B? A plus B is nothing but Z. So it is Z. Here the plus or minus we can take it in common. So it is delta A plus delta B. So here it is. Left side we are having Z plus or minus delta Z is equal to Z plus or minus delta A plus delta B. So we can cancel this Z plus or minus also gets cancelled. So what is the final result? Delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. So what does it mean? The maximum possible error in the sum of two quantities is equal to the maximum possible error in the sum of these two quantities. How can we say the maximum possible error? So it is the sum of the absolute errors of the individual quantities. So the maximum possible error, how much error we are getting in the result, is the sum of the absolute errors of the individual quantities. Okay. Next we are going to see about the errors in the difference of two quantities. So difference of two quantities. Difference of two quantities. So here, when the errors combine, while finding the difference, okay, how the errors affect the final result. So similarly, the steps we have to follow how we did for finding the sum of two quantities. Okay, so here also measured value of A is equal to measured value of A is equal to A plus or minus delta A. Likewise, measured value of B is equal to B plus or minus delta B. So now here we have to find the difference. Okay. So difference Z is equal to A minus B. Okay, what is the difference? How can we find the difference? The difference Z is equal to A minus B. So A is also having some error, B is also having some error. So the final result Z will also be having some error. Okay, so how can we write this Z? Z can be written as Z plus or minus delta Z, which is equal to, what is A? A is equal to A plus or minus delta A minus, what is B? B plus or minus delta B. Okay, so it is A minus B. So now we have to remove the bracket. So how can you write A plus or minus delta A minus B? This minus goes inside, so it becomes minus into plus, minus into minus plus delta B. So rearrange and write, so it will become A minus B plus or minus. So minus of plus is also equal to plus or minus. Plus or minus or minus of minus or plus. So both are same. So plus or minus can be taken in common. So we will be getting delta A plus delta B. So what is A minus B? A minus B is Z. So Z plus or minus delta A plus delta B. So what is in the left side? Z plus or minus delta Z is equal to Z plus or minus delta A plus delta B. So here the Z gets cancelled. Plus or minus also we can cancel. So what is the final result? Delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. So delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. So here also, while subtracting, while finding the difference also, the errors gets added up. So while finding the sum also, the errors gets added up, and while finding the difference also, the errors gets added up. So how can we say this? The maximum possible error in the difference of two quantities, the maximum possible error in the difference of two quantities is equal to the sum of the absolute errors of the individual quantities. Okay, so in this session we have seen about the errors in the sum of two quantities and also the errors in the difference of two quantities. Okay, hope you have understood well. So meet you in the next video. Until then, it's bye from Anandi.